Picture a traditional ATM, but instead of dispensing and accepting fiat, it lets you buy and sell Bitcoin using cash. In other words, BTMs. Let's mine deep. Bitcoin ATMs are Canadian. Well, technically, since the first Bitcoin ATM was live in Vancouver, Canada in 2013.
ATMs have been around for a while now, but this one in a humble coffee shop in Vancouver, Canada, can lay claim to being the world's first cash machine for Bitcoin.
BTM stands for Bitcoin Teller Machine. It consists of a screen, a QR scanner, a bill acceptor, and a dispenser, all connected to the internet and thus the Bitcoin network to provide real-time exchange rates. Their primary objective is to provide individuals with a convenient and accessible way to convert fiat currency, traditional government currencies like the US dollar, euros, or pounds, into Bitcoin. These machines allow users to purchase Bitcoin by inserting cash or using a debit card, making the process simpler and more familiar compared to online exchanges. Yes, boomers, these could be for you, since Bitcoin ATMs aim to bridge the gap between physical cash and digital currencies, offering a tangible and user-friendly method for individuals to enter the world of cryptocurrency transactions. What's super cool is that in some places, it even facilitates international money transfers, particularly in regions with significant immigrant communities. Individuals convert their hard-earned cash into Bitcoin and send it to their home countries for conversion into local currency, thereby bypassing exorbitant transaction fees charged by services like Western Union. Some even operate without adhering to KYC, Know Your Customer protocols. You know, the mandatory process of identifying and verifying the client's identity when opening an account, which usually lead to having very high fees. Hence, their pricing reflects the anonymity they offer for buying and selling. Ultimately, users are willing to pay a premium for the convenience of non-KYC transactions, especially those who prioritize anonymity. It all comes down to how much does your freedom cost, if you know what I mean. Of course, like everything else in life, the government wants a piece. Check this out. This story came out a couple years back, stating that the government wants to tighten regulations on Bitcoin ATMs. Their reasoning was that the use of Bitcoin payments to facilitate illicit activities was rising.
The FBI warning about fraudulent schemes targeting cryptocurrency ATMs.
This is an accusation that we see time and time again. Anyway, of course, the Government Accountability Office, GAO, is blaming Bitcoin ATMs for the rise in illegal activities. So why should you care? Because committing a crime isn't something new or anything made possible by Bitcoin. Illicit activities have been going on since the beginning of time. But it's easier to place blame on Bitcoin when in reality, Bitcoin has been around for 15 years. And illegal activities have been happening throughout history for as long as we can remember. Money laundering, frauds, murders, drugs, child trafficking, tax evasion, terrorist attacks, you name it. It's the wild, wild west out there. Let's be real. This is a tactic of the government to cause fear and force regulation on something that doesn't need it in order to try and gain more control over you and other Bitcoin users. Don't miss Adam O'Brien Backstage. All right, we're here with Adam O'Brien from Bitcoin Well, and since we're talking about Bitcoin ATMs, we have to talk to the expert who has, I think, over 196 ATMs.
That's right, yeah, 196 all in Canada. So it's been quite the journey.
When did you see there was a huge problem and you wanted to link the digital world with the physical world?
I started selling Bitcoin in 2013 in my town in Edmonton. And I was meeting people at like Starbucks and McDonald's, having coffee, selling them Bitcoin. And then the world's first Bitcoin ATM was deployed in Vancouver in 2013. And I was like, wow, that is way more scalable than meeting people at Starbucks. I was spending like 2-3 hours with someone to sell them some Bitcoin. I was like, this is, a robot can do it. This is way better. And so I bought a machine and we deployed the first one in Alberta, which is the province that I live in. And then the first one in Saskatchewan. And then kind of just grew it up from there.
You mentioned that it is not true that drug dealers use Bitcoin to launder money. Can you literally touch up on that? Because we need to debunk that. And you're the one that's out there
with the ATMs, and many people view it, oh, like the narcos are going to come in and they're going to put their money in. But you see, what are the type of customers that come and use the Bitcoin ATMs?
Yeah, it's generally unbanked and privacy conscious. So in Canada, you have to verify your identity over $1,000 per transaction. And so, I mean, if you're a drug dealer that's worth their weight, like you need to launder a lot more than $1,000 a day. And so there's, that coupled with, I think just generally speaking, the laws, like the industry has grown up enough now that it is legitimate companies doing legitimate things in the space. And, we don't want to enable we know it's not awesome for Bitcoin if people are laundering money and doing these bad things. We want positive adoption. A big problem currently is scams. Like the same way you've heard about gift card scams or like SIM card scams, Bitcoin ATMs can be used in the same way. And so we have a screen on our machine. It's there for a time lock. Like you have to read it and then push go, like next on the machine. And it's there it's anywhere from 5 to 10 seconds depending on where the machine is. And it says like, be careful, don't send Bitcoin to someone you don't know, don't send Bitcoin to pay your taxes, don't send Bitcoin to like XYZ to try and prevent these scams. I think that Bitcoin ATMs hold an important part of somebody's Bitcoin journey in stacking privately and legally, but also in having the ability to be full circular. Cash is censorship resistant the same way that Bitcoin is censorship resistant, but cash is not able to move very well. And Bitcoin ATMs play a unique role in allowing your cash to move.
What would you say the disadvantages and advantages are for buying Bitcoin through a Bitcoin ATM?
So the advantages are definitely you're able to preserve privacy. The way that our payment systems work with the legacy banking system is they can be reversed, and so we have to KYC everything. Even you have to KYC even things that the government says you don't have to KYC, you do to prevent fraud and losing money.
How do you see the growth of Bitcoin ATMs in the future?
I think they play a role in the broader Bitcoin picture. And so what we've done as an organization is we had Bitcoin ATMs, and that was our only business unit for 8 years. And then we launched an online product. And the online, we call it the Bitcoin portal. And the Bitcoin portal interacts with the Bitcoin ATMs to kind of give the end customer of the Bitcoin portal that full experience.
And you mentioned that you can send from Bitcoin ATMs in North America all the way to in the Philippines. How does that work? I thought you would just send money to a wallet.
That is one way. So the way that it would work, like you could do this right now feasibly. You could put cash into an ATM, take the Bitcoin into self-custody, connect with somebody in the Philippines, like maybe it's your family. Like in Canada, we have a ton of people that come over from the Philippines and send money back home to work and then send money back home to their family. And so they could take Bitcoin, send Bitcoin to their family themselves, and then have their family go to an ATM and do it. And so the way that it works is the Bitcoin ATM has a hot wallet full of Bitcoin, and then you go to the machine and scan your Bitcoin address. And that tells the machine, okay, I have to send it to this public address. Fantastic. And then you put cash in, and you put $500 into the machine, and the machine tells the hot wallet, yo, I just got $500. Please send the equivalent, less your fee, to the address that we just scanned. The hot wallet, there's like a bunch of technology and robots doing a bunch of work. The technology sends from the hot wallet to your wallet, and voila, you have Bitcoin. Again, if you want cash from this ATM, then you have to have cash in this ATM. You can't use the cash from that ATM. But with Bitcoin ATMs, you can have kind of that one hot wallet that splits out to multiple different machines, which is pretty cool.